Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesday Night Undressed. I am Lou, your host, and I am joined tonight by Chris,
Yay.
Meredith,
What up, though?
Jullian, Cassidy, Sofia, and Fernando.
Hello.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Terrible.
Really nice. Very good.
Splendiferous.
I'm sure I heard terrible. Who said terrible?
Me.
Why are you terrible?
Oh, God.
Hold on,
Julian
she's
just
choking.
fed me like really hot food. It's like burning my mouth right now.
It's not that hot. You realize
Yes,
you
it
can,
is.
You can test that out before you put it in your mouth. Right? You realize you have that
I don't like to
ability.
do
That's
that
what
with
he
other
said.
things.
Man, I am so jealous that I didn't say that now. All right, let's get started. First question, all about the milk. Do you drink milk? Do you drink milk by itself, or do you have to have something with it? And if you don't drink milk, do you drink one of the near milk analogs, and which one? So I'm going to start with Ms. Cassie.
Okay. So, I really like milk. I like skim milk.
Water.
It's like
milk
water
flavoring.
flavored milk, and I really like it. Also, I hate oat milk. I hate soy milk. I hate almond milk. Actually, the first time I tried most of those was at your house, and they were trash.
At my house? Mm-hmm. You have never tried oat milk at my house because I don't allow it.
I said most of them,
Okay.
not all of them.
That's
okay.
fair. That's fair.
I've tried oat milk at Starbucks by itself.
Mhm.
It was terrible. And yeah, I don't like whole milk.
You
It's
like
too
skim
much
milk,
milk.
but you don't like whole milk.
That seems to make logical sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
All
does.
right. And do you drink it by itself? Is it just like a
Yes.
drink
I
that you can
do.
drink alone? Okay. All right. So we are pretty sure that Cassie is a psycho.
Wow, bro. Wait till we talk to me, then. Go ahead.
All right, Meredith.
Oh, you're going with me next?
I'm
really?
gonna go with you
That wasn't
next.
an invitation, but okay, since you're gonna. Yes, milk is the center of all lifeblood, and it is really the only thing that it's my favorite thing to drink. I will literally chug a gallon of milk probably a day. I do not like soy milk. I do not like almond milk. I do not like oat milk. They are all just terrible milk knockoffs, and I feel for you if you have to drink them because you're lactose intolerant, and I'm super sorry that that's the life that you've been cursed to, because there's so many delightful things that start with milk.
That's interesting because you might be like the
I fucking love
only
milk.
adult that I know that like. Is,
I fucking love milk.
Huh. Interesting.
Literally, like if I'm going to the refrigerator, like I'm getting milk.
I thought that was like a German thing.
And
that we
2%
don't-
is the correct percentage
We are
of
German.
milk.
Yeah, but I
We're
thought
like
Germans were
50%
like
German.
the origin of like why folks in America are
Mustard is
lactose
gross.
intolerant.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I could be wrong though.
I also do not like whole milk. 2% is the correct fat percentage that you should have in a proper cup of milk.
Then why have we had 1% for the last
Because
year?
it is the compromise, because I'm not buying skim.
But you did. You did so many times, and you tried skim, and you liked
No.
it.
This is not.
You grabbed
this
skim.
is not Dr. Phil's show. We are not going to have this argument right now. We're going to let the other folks at the table talk.
Whole milk is gross because it's too thick.
Okay, so two psychos at the table.
Or two
Okay.
people who don't break bones. I'm just saying, whichever.
Never broken a bone.
Mr. Chris, what is your association with milk?
Well, given my recent dietary shift, yeah, I'm drinking a lot more milk than I used to.
You feel better, don't you?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
But most of my milk consumption usually comes with cereal.
Mhm.
Although, I do, if I need a serving of milk, I will grab it. I am a whole milk person. I used to be a 2%er, but
I'll forgive you this time.
thank you. And I will drink it adulterated, so chocolate milk is delicious and yummy. Also, strawberry milk is yummy and delicious.
All good things that start with milk.
I know. And I have to say, though, I do like soy milk because I've been to China and they make some damn good soy milk over there. But, yeah, almond milk, oat milk, nah.
Gotcha.
Not to mention that they're huge wastes of
I
water.
respect you more now.
So for sure, almond milk is a waste of water. I hadn't heard that about soy. Is that also a big water waster?
I think the soy is not as bad as almond milk. I know almond milk is a horrible waste of, and I'm not 100% sure on oat milk, but I know that anything that kind of has to go through that process to get those kind of flavor compounds out usually ends up using a lot of water.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Jullian.
I love milk, personally. It's a really good beverage. Second to only water, because water is my favorite drink.
Real.
But I think milk not only is such a versatile liquid, but such just a flavorful one. Like, not only can you have cereal, you can eat brownies, you can eat cookies.
This is why he's my
You can
favorite. Get yours.
drink it by itself, or
Alfredo pasta sauces?
theoretically speaking, you can add other flavors to it, like banana, strawberry.
You can make it into ice cream.
Yeah, huh? You see, so much
And
you can do
cheese.
with milk, right?
All right.
So,
So,
wait,
I
wait.
All
feel
dairy
like
things start with milk.
I feel like the only person. Oh, sorry. Go
Wait,
ahead,
I
Jullian.
wasn't finished.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, I think whole milk is okay. Personally, I like 2% milk. I think 1% is disgusting. It tastes like rubber, and I think almond milk is only good when it's in chocolate form.
Gotcha. All right.
I can see that.
I can accept that. Sophia, I feel like my only kindred spirit here is Sophia.
I think he thought this was gonna go a different way.
In the entire time I've been on this podcast, I've never felt more flabbergasted.
Oh, really?
Holy shit!
This is what gets you?
No, because I have never met people who enjoy drinking straight up milk. And there are 4 of them sitting at this table with me.
We are the
walking amongst
majority.
Me like they're regular people.
Like there's something wrong with
You
you.
have a penguin
Drink
that's your
milk.
child that you hate.
Listen, I do hate my child. That's another story for another day. At least I would never give him milk.
You should. Maybe he'd leave you alone.
Babies drink milk, okay? You start with already having a base experience with milk.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is we don't drink people milk. When you buy it from the store, you're drinking some other animal's milk. Yeah. I don't trust that. I don't
I
know who
also
that
eat that
what?
animal's ass,
Yes.
its stomach, it's all kinds of different parts of that animal.
intestines.
I'm good with it, right? Like,
But I don't like the taste of milk. I don't like the way milk as a drink is disgusting. Chocolate milk, strawberry, like when you add stuff to it, then it's fine. I like as a basis for other things, like it works well, it does its job, it's fine. But just like I don't think I have ever, since I have been above the age of 5 years old, poured myself a glass of milk.
I don't
and
pour.
been satisfied.
Just straight out the jug, baby. Straight out the jug.
Yeah, I don't.
in your fridge?
Well,
have one.
I go every day.
It's just it's too much.
So I'm just gonna full disclosure. I used to love milk, but I am lactose intolerant, so I can't drink it now. And the idea of drinking milk is now completely unpalatable. So, Fernando, what about you?
I mean, I like the flavor. But I just cut up a long time ago. I think you never see me buy milk except if you're gonna use for cooking.
We never have milk in the fridge.
Never. And
Dry
I
cereal.
because I get I just gave up. But I like the flavor. Nothing against. But I really like the derivatives. Like that's not really milk, but the soy. But I like with flavor. Soy gotta be vanilla. Almond as well. Some of the rice sometimes, but it's not
I've
really.
never tried rice milk.
There is hemp too.
There is a hemp milk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the oatmeal
Oh, that
was
shit sounds
okay.
so gross.
Was okay. So I mean, they're like more nutritious, and I mean, it's not came from whatever. I still eat meat and stuff, but at least one thing I gave up, and I'm not gonna come back.
That's unfortunate. It's better on this side.
Are you making any money from the?
No, it's just like the
milk-
perfect
big
drink.
milk industry.
Like it's like when it's super duper cold and it's got like the perfect level of just a little bit of sweetness in it. It's so delightful.
it is delicious.
Like, oh, it's
No
so
question,
good.
no question. And by the way, in
drink milk
Canada,
early.
they don't call like soy milk. There is a specific, I think, term for any, like it's not really non-dairy, like
Trying to be
and it
milk.
sounds like the milk industry is trying to also make them change how they label. They want to take the word milk
Because it ain't
off.
real milk. I agree with them.
Yeah,
I think she is
So-
getting paid. I think the short version is Meredith is getting paid by the milk
Listen,
industry.
If I'm not, I will be after this podcast.
Right?
listen, right? I think lactose intolerance is a weakness.
Amen.
I'm
Preach.
sorry, but if you are so like weak in your immune system that literal milk gets you like,
Disclaimer: I was just joking. All the lactose intolerant people out there.
that is
I'm
a
not
weakness.
joking. I'm being so for real right now.
Right,
I
and
don't
also,
like
I'm-
lactose intolerant.
I
people.
am a proud. I've never broken a bone. I've never fractured a bone.
Same,
I've
real.
never done anything like that, and I owe it all to milk.
That's because we
Milk.
drink
That
milk.
milk in your life.
Milk. It's
Never
it's
broken
just
a bone.
such a good drink.
All right, just for that, I'm switching topics.
It's because you fear us because we drink more milk
Yeah,
You know you lost.
Julian, remember half your genes from him, so you might end up becoming lactose
I'm gonna
intolerant.
just drink more milk. What-
Get a really nice bathroom, dog.
I just want to know what you did in your parenting that led to your child
Being
enjoying
extremely
drinking milk.
amazing.
exactly.
High five at Julian right here. Hit me up there.
Only good fathered children drink a lot of milk.
Bet you didn't
Except
think this would turn so quickly.
So interesting that you say that. Do you know that every time a character drinks milk in a movie, that character's evil?
Nuh-uh.
That's okay. That might explain a couple things. All right.
Santa movies, bro.
Okay, with the exception, potentially, because
So
Santa
there's an
could be
exception.
Santa is a creepy motherfucker. So
And
with the
you're-
exception of Santa, like, think about it. Hans Landa, his favorite drink, milk. Like, what
He's not
Homelander.
really a villain. He's more like a hustler.
Yeah, I take issue with that because 9.5 Weeks was not an evil movie.
that was Mickey Rourke was so evil in that movie. I mean, it was not.
He was
bad.
not evil.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that is a.
You know I'm gonna go home and watch a shit ton of movies like that.
You can
like
actually
just to prove me wrong.
No, you can actually. They've done like write-ups on this. You can hop on the internet and there's like many discussions of how like milk is the signifier of evil in a ton of movies. So
Call me
like,
super villain.
You realize I'm
for
going
real.
home to form a dissertation as to why that is wrong. Like, I swear to God, I'm gonna Google every instance of milk in movies.
All right. Okay. Now let's change.
The dude carries
Homelander.
a
he
glass of milk and vodka around the entire movie. He is definitely not the
Now
villain.
is
That was a
his-
white Russian.
Yeah, that was White Russian.
It doesn't
I don't think
matter.
that
It's
was-
milk.
I don't think that's milk. I think that's Irish cream in his.
It's like
White
doesn't
Russian.
he drink like half?
Yeah, and he drinks like a gallon of milk when he's in the store too.
But half and half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not milk. That's whipping cream, right?
Well,
Nope, that's milk
Yeah.
because it's half fat.
He was high.
There you go.
He was high.
It don't matter. He was enjoying his best life. I drink my milk high too.
That's your opinion. That's
was
your
high on
opinion,
life.
dude.
All right.
All right,
Before
next
this
question.
gets
Just had to
completely off the
redeem the
rails.
villain thing.
All right, we're going to talk about the Georgia indictment. We're not going to talk about the Georgia folding chair party right now. We're going to
No, that was
talk.
Alabama, right?
Oh, that's Alabama. You
Yeah.
are correct.
They're next to each other.
Folding chair party?
Uh-huh.
We'll talk about it later.
You didn't see the video where the black.
Oh
dude-
yes, the boat.
The brawl.
The boat. The
Yes,
Lakeshore Brawl. Yes, I did see that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll talk about that at some other point. But right now we're going to talk about Donald Trump. He was indicted this week on his
What does that
fourth
mean?
criminal
Bad.
case. That means that the legal system has gathered up enough evidence that they have essentially arrested him, or they more accurately, they require him to present himself to the court so that they can run their case against him.
They press
Hooray.
charges.
Yeah, he's basically been arrested, or he has an arrest warrant, I guess is the better way to say it. So, altogether, if you count all of the possible prison sentences that he has, he could spend up to 712 years if he was found guilty on all terms.
But that's with max sentencing, though.
That's with max sentencing. He's found guilty on all counts, and his sentences would have to run sequentially. That those three things, neither of them are likely, and all of them are pretty much impossible. But we can dream. So
It's huge.
I do have a dream.
So the question is, will this last set of indictments, or all the entirety of the indictments, make a difference in his campaign? Mr. Chris.
Well, the only difference it will make is it's another thing he's going to have to juggle. And there's going to be lawsuits, I'm sure this one will get delayed as much as it possibly can. He's going to try to push all of these off until after the elections, hopefully that he can, win the presidency and pardon himself, which that'll be a fun one to see what happens with that one.
Yeah.
I love a good constitutional crisis.
But it's not going to make really a difference that much to his campaign because, there's, at least probably 72 odd million people who are just diehard cult members and will vote for him no matter what. Even if he actually does get convicted and thrown in jail, there's no reason why he can't run for president while he's in jail. So
interesting that you say that. I'm going to talk to the kiddos for just a second. Are you guys at any way, shape, or form interested in the whole Trump question?
Listen. You know how they announced that aliens exist and nobody cared?
Right.
What makes you think that I care more about Donald Trump than I care about aliens?
Because you can see Donald Trump. You could conceivably spit on Donald Trump. You have
Can I now?
Okay, listen. I think it would be more likely for me to see an alien than for me to get within spitting distance of Donald Trump.
Okay,
I don't
let's
know.
be
He has a
honest.
lot of rallies. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You're wide enough. You could get up front.
That's true.
if you wanted to, you could probably get up close and personal with him if you really wanted to.
I just think aliens are 3 times as interesting, but I still didn't care about those.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so then I'm going to talk to you, Cassie. If you are Evo, if you are interested, have you followed this
No.
question or this whole topic? So,
No.
were you? Thank you, my friend. Were you aware that he had been? And there we do have a.
She's my kid. You already know the answer to that question.
Well, I
was
know that
aware.
you watch Meredith. I don't know that.
I force her to know.
Okay.
No, the real thing of how I found out is I was trying to sleep because I have to wake up at 5 a.m. for high school. So I was trying to sleep, and then I hear my mom yelling from the kitchen, on the phone with my grandma or something about
way.
this. And I was like, okay.
Gotcha. So, are
Yeah, my mom called me hella excited.
Are you at all familiar, for instance, that the charges are all stem out of racketeering? You know that much about the case? What do you know about the case? Maybe that's a better way to ask the question.
I know some things.
Well, tell me what you know. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to know anything. I'm just curious to know, if you're how closely. If
I know
at
that
all.
Donald Trump existed at one point, and he did a pretty bad job of it.
She
Right.
knows more than that. You're still being fake. Go ahead. You're boiling it down.
No, but that's so. I
Just
think
to,
that's.
summarize.
I think that's not an unreasonable position to take, and I have my reason for saying it, and I will justify your position in just a few minutes. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
How about you, Sophia?
I was with my friends when we all got the Apple News notification. We were like, "Oh, cool!" And then didn't really discuss it much further because we kind of had all been we knew vaguely what was going on. My friend Alex knows a lot more about it than I do. He actually reads the news, but I've just from what I gathered, I don't know. I don't know how big of an impact it's gonna have on his campaign, just because it almost gives the followers that he has that are still here. It gives them more fuel because they're oh, he's being wronged. They don't care how much evidence is presented against him. In their heads, he's the victim, and so no matter how bad it gets, if he gets thrown in jail, they're gonna be so upset, not because they feel betrayed by him, but because they feel betrayed by the system, because they think that he is innocent no matter what. So I don't know how much of an effect it'll have on his remaining base.
Well, the effect really isn't. He needs to worry about is not his base. It's all the independents and potential Democratic voters that he needs to switch, because he lost by 7 million votes. He lost a good portion of his.
Excuse me. Are you saying that Donald Trump lost?
Yes, he did.
Yes, we do facts here.
He was 7 million behind. He lost probably a good number of supporters due to the COVID pandemic.
I'm
and-
sorry. I shouldn't laugh about that, but it's true.
No, it's true. He did nothing to try to save them, and
no,
he
goes
needs
on people.
he needs to convince independents and try to get some Democrats in order to win the presidency, and he's not doing that.
I have seen I saw some TikTok of some woman, like after this news came out, saying, "Oh, I don't care how many arrests he has. Like, I'm voting for him this year because, like, I want to pay for gas or whatever." And it's like she voted for Biden last year or last election. Now she's gonna vote for him. I'm like, I just don't understand like how you can rush past that and like still just like be okay with having a criminal sitting in the president's seat. Like, first of all, I don't know how it's allowed. Like, you're there are so many like entry level jobs that have like super strict background checks. Like, you can't get a basic job if you have a criminal record, but you can be the president. Like, that seems so stupid to me, and it's just.
But if you ask, Sofia, if you ask most of American people if they would accept a criminal in the White House if the price of gasoline is $1 a gallon, I guarantee you,
Yes.
I guarantee you that 80% of people will vote for that criminal in the White House. I mean, people watch for their own interests. Of course, he has nothing to do with the price of gas. He'll tell you otherwise, but he has nothing to do with this. And he has not done anything to bring the price of gas down, and he's not going to do anything. And in terms of this impact of this trial, I think that it's not going to impact at all his supporters, but it's going to impact the independents who actually don't live in an information bubble. And once the facts start coming out over and over and over again to the people that don't sit in the Fox News bubble and actually watch other sources, have other sources of information as well, and once they get showered constantly with the facts of the case, with the lies, the constant lies, this manufactured parallel reality that he had, the call to the painfully familiar to us call to Brad Roethlisberger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, like, all I need is 11,870 votes.
Which is one
Which
more.
is one more than what we need. And I mean, this is racketeering. He's being charged with racketeering. I mean, his name is Don, and he's being charged with racketeering. I mean, this is like too meaningful. It's like somebody is like puppeteering our reality, obviously. But just like that winner, that was the Democratic politician winner who got Anthony Weiner, who got caught for exposing his wiener. I mean, this is like, it's too much. Yeah, I think it's going to have an effect on this small section of independents. It's not that big of a section, but that might be wiped out by a third-party candidate like Manchin. And or whoever else, like whoever's going to play the role of Jill Stein in this election. So it's kind of scary. It's very possible that he will wiggle out of it. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be, even if the trial is done by election day in November, it's going to start in March, and then he can appeal. And the appeal is going to take a while. Now, what's different here, and you probably discussed this already, this is state charges. And he cannot pardon himself if he becomes president. Exactly. In fact, nobody can pardon him. The governor of Georgia, he can't pardon him. There's a pardon parole. The state of Georgia has interesting rules where the Republican governor cannot pardon anyone. It has to be a parole committee.
And you have to serve your term.
And you have to serve a minimum 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting, and it will be constant bombardment with facts about racketeering, lying, manufacturing. By the way, it was amazing. We discussed this with Lou way back. Probably it was 2019, where Bill Maher, and he has the show on HBO, where he mapped out exactly what Trump was going to do at election time if he loses. He called it word for word for word. The fake electors, Mike Pence, everything he predicted is exactly what happened. It was pretty amazing. And he was laughing afterwards. He said, this is exactly what I've been telling you and warning. Yeah.
So, no, we actually hadn't talked about the difference between state and federal charges. And interesting that you mentioned that, because we've already seen Mark Meadows' attorneys they have tried to get the case removed to federal court. There is a
Wonder why, right?
right. So there is a rule in place that says if a politician within the function of his job commits a crime, then if a federal politician within the course of his job's duties commits a crime, that crime can be removed to federal court. And so the strategy that we're going to see is to get around exactly what you just described. All of the crony of 19, I guess. We got to get a nickname for this group. Like, there's got to be something. But that group, you're going to see each one of them try to make the argument that what they did was completely within the scope of their job, so that they can potentially have the case moved to federal court. And then Trump would be able, if it happened, yeah. But that, there's a couple of things that have to happen. Number one, the Republican Party would have to allow Trump to be elected. And I'm not sure at this point that the Republican Party would have such a lack of self-preservation that they would actually allow
Have you noticed what they've been doing the last 5 years?
There is no more
You paying
Republican
attention
Party.
at all?
Gone.
It's all MAGA now.
Sleep
They're-
through 2016 through 2020?
That's
Three.
completely fair.
The other wrinkle in Georgia, though, is this law that just passed that originally was supposed to go into effect in 2025, but they moved it up to take place in October of this year, which allows the governor to remove attorney generals. So
The GOP doesn't exist anymore. There's just MAGA, and that's it. It's gone. The old Republican Party is gone. The sane, fiscally responsible, they're gone. Now it's all people who like to kneel. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but there's a lot of people who like that.
it's easy. You don't have to think.
I disagree, actually, that's all of what it is. I will tell you, first of all, I do think this will have an effect on his national campaign, not on his primary campaign, obviously. I don't think it has anything to do with them wanting to kneel. I mean, as far as general voters, when we're talking about the leadership, that's about power. That's all about power, and they have none against him without doing what he wants, because he has control of so much of their base. So they don't have any fucking desire to kneel whatsoever. They'd rather be done with Donald Trump, but they can't because they're fucked because of the base. So as far as the leadership actually goes, Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't believe the shit she says. She says it because it keeps her in office. Sorry.
I'm not sure. Okay, that's
Lauren
an example.
Boebert, all these little hoes, they are just saying the shit that they think is going to keep them in office. I guarantee you, if for some reason what we are used to Republican leadership came back into place, these bitches would all of a sudden have a revelation.
But it's all connected. It's all connected. The leadership is connected to the populace. The populace loves to kneel. These people that inexplicably love Trump and call him one of us. One of us? He sits on a golden fucking toilet. Who are you? You're rednecks who can barely make ends meet. You can barely pay your bills. What does Donald Trump have to do with you? He's never had a blister on his hand.
He hates the same people they hate.
He doesn't work. He's never worked a day in his life. He despises these people. They like to be told what to do. They love a daddy. That's the sad truth.
He hates the same people that they hate. I'm sorry, but the man fully influences racism. He lets them go out there and be assholes. I can go out here and I can be an asshole, and it's okay. I can tell you to fuck off, and I can call you a nigger, and I can say what I want to say because Donald Trump says I can. It's not about kneeling. It's about empowering their goddamn bullshit.
No, I think
I think you're both right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fernando.
11,870.
There is a chance. I think there is a chance. This case is, I think, is more serious and more plausible. I'm surprised that took so long, but I know the hard work that the attorney put on this, and and what I don't get, A, why it took so long. B, I mean, this guy automatically, every time he get out of, like, in theory, he can, like, blew off. He threat people involved, like, he threat the attorneys generals. He talk shit about the judges, and automatically, a normal person would be automatically be in jail waiting his trial, correct? Because, I mean, he's affecting.
Yeah, if he did not already have the national platform that he did, even for a white guy, he'd probably still already be in jail.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm just surprised, and I think there is potential to change his campaign. I'm surprised nobody had the balls to step, like, you know, from the guy from Florida. I know they fear his base, but I mean, Chris Christie, someone that's gonna run, like, they should already start shooting on this guy, like, because, you know, there is eventually that will happen. They're waiting a final. But it's getting there. But what I like about it, but the more people are indicted on this, right? Like Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
So my concern is this, like, I don't know how many years Rudy can make it, but 12 years for Rudy Giuliani, we're not going to be enough. Because he's a vampire.
Yeah, that's the problem. No, but see, so interesting. I have lots of interesting things that I want to talk about, and we don't have time. But, like, to your point, Ivo, like, I have had this nagging realization for a long time, like prior to Trump becoming a political figure, that, like, our society is moving to, like, what you described, this, like, wanting to kneel. And I'm seeing it in movie themes. Like, if you remember, like, the first Avengers movie, like, that was Loki's entire like argument.
Strong man.
Like, you need a strong man to lead you. And I feel like there's something that has been in the zeitgeist for a while that is convincing people that a strong man is necessary. And you even see it when when like, they've done recent studies in high schools and in junior high schools, and, like, they asked the students a question as to whether or not they would value liberty or a strong leader. Like, they diametrically oppose these two things. And over the course of, like, the last 15 years, like, that we want a strong leader becomes more and more, like, prevalent. Yeah. So it's just this really, really interesting.
So I think this is related to the changing demographics of the United States and to the fact that the current minority very soon will be majority, and the Caucasian demographic will become minority. So the Caucasian demographic is panicking and realizing that their lives are going to change. So suddenly they don't like democracy anymore. They don't like voting rights for everyone. They like autocracy because they want to have a Hungarian society like Viktor Orban, where you go and vote, supposedly, but when you vote someone in, they can do whatever the fuck they want, and they will do what you like. So this is a movement, unfortunately, towards autocracy that is rooted in change of demographics. And it's happening. Democracy and the three branches of government, they want to do away with the two of them. Yep. You know, they want to, and he tried these 4 years. He tried to undermine the two other branches of government for as much as possible. They secured the Supreme Court already for decades to come. So it's a moot point. The judicial branch, the government branch, is getting stripped of its powers, and if he gets another 4 years, he said it, he's going to just destroy the administrative state. So it's going to be just an executive branch.
All right. Let's see. I think I have officially heard from everybody but you, Meredith.
What's that?
So you've kind of, like, given us your input, but is there a capstone statement you want to say about this whole Trump thing before we?
No. This is the case in the indictment that I've been waiting for this entire time. This is the one I was looking forward to the most, because I thought, for one, everybody's saying, like, well, when we see the evidence. Well, if you guys haven't been paying attention, we've seen a lot of the evidence. We just haven't seen the behind-the-scenes aspect, right? Like, we've seen a lot of the evidence. Like, we've seen the fake electors. We've seen them going in to tamper with the voting machines. Like, I know you made their point before we started, but I think this is a pretty rock-solid ass case. Like,
so that was, I'm sorry to interrupt because you're still talking, but that was the one thing that I wanted to say to Fernando, like, when he said, like, why is this taking so long? Like, did you try to read that fucking indictment? Like, that is 98 pages of hardcore, like,
This is a solid case.
thought out, well reasoned, well intentioned. Like, if they have the evidence that the indictment papers point to, I don't see how they can fail.
Yeah,
So,
no.
yeah.
This is a rock solid case. I hope it doesn't get moved to the federal level. But I mean, I don't. There's certain aspects of it that I think could get moved, but there's also aspects of it that I think it could very well stay in Georgia as well. Just because so much of it, there's not. They tied together what happened in D.C. and Georgia, and I think for Donald to make the argument that he was doing this under the guise of his job duties is
Or advice of
absolutely
counsel.
fucking asinine. So I don't see how his charges would get necessarily moved to the I hit the mic. Would get moved to the federal level. People like Mark Meadows, yes, I do see that his legal team may have some wiggle room there. But I still hope that doesn't happen. I hope they all stay state charges. But I'm super excited about this. I think she's gonna kill it, and I think that Congress should really start to consider passing some sort of legislation that says you can't serve while you're serving time. Like, really, we should handle that, but unfortunately, the House is controlled by Republicans. Narrowly, by the way, in a lot of 2022 election that he lost, after the 2020 election that he lost, after the 2016 election that he lost the popular vote. Just keeps on losing, but you guys vote for him if you want.
Yeah. I noticed that finally the stupid Kraken lawyer bitch is part of the indictment. What was her name?
Sidney Powell.
Sidney
God, I
Powell.
loved that.
Yeah,
I was
she's-
living for her being
Yeah,
indicted,
she,
too.
one of the most disgusting human beings.
Oh, God,
she,
yes.
It came into light that she's been selling $25 pictures of herself after she became popular with the
Who the
Kraken.
fuck bought him?
Oh,
right here, my
You got it? You got it?
Those millions of people that voted for him. And you were asking about how we need to. I mean, these are just a bunch of crackpots, these lawyers, And I was thinking when you said, when you asked for a nickname for the entire group, and I was thinking Krakenpot is a good name.
Awesome. All right, guys, it is going to be a short show tonight. I want to say thank you for all of your help and showing up. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you, Jullian.
welcome.
Thank you, Cassidy.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Sofia. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Evo. Again, as we exit, I'm just going to toss out this one question. If there's an answer in the next 10 seconds, just yell it out. Give me your best shower singing song. Outside of that, I am
Love Fool the Cardigans.
Lewis.
Bro, it's not my favorite, but I just feel the need to say beat it. I'm sorry, I had to.
FNAF song
In-
AI
any
covered
song.
by that one guy.
I have been
Frank
Lewis
Sinatra.
Walton, and
Any
you've
Frank
listened
Sinatra
to
song.
Wednesday night, Andrea.
Fugazi.